Hi there, and welcome to Science Sleep, where quiet curiosity meets peaceful rest. Tonight, we leave the warm glow of inner worlds behind and drift toward a realm unlike any we've visited before. A world tilted on its side, a world wrapped in icy blue, a world where the air itself glows with cool, quiet light. Uranus, the pale, aquamarine giant of our solar system. A calm sphere of gas and ice, ringed by faint halos of drifting frost, turning slowly in the dim sunlight at the edge of our celestial neighborhood. Unlike the swirling colors of Jupiter or the golden glow of Saturn, Uranus is serene, subdued. A world of smooth gradients and gentle hues, soft blues, deep teals, and icy whites blending seamlessly like watercolor on a quiet sky. But tonight, we don't descend into its frigid storms or the powerful winds that race across its hidden depths. Instead, we drift into its upper atmosphere, a peaceful layer of cool, glowing haze where motion slows, light softens, and the world becomes an endless ocean of calm. Up here, clouds move in wide, delicate sheets. No sharp edges, no violent swirls. Just cool, drifting layers that stretch across the planet like smooth ripples on a tranquil, frozen sea. Sunlight reaches Uranus as a faint, distant whisper. But when it filters through the planet's cyan haze, it creates a gentle aqua glow, soothing radiance that settles through the body like a long exhale released beneath quiet, icy water. Tonight, we invite you to float in this luminous calm, to drift between layers of cool, serene atmosphere, to glide through pale blue mist as though you are suspended in a vast, cosmic ocean. There is no ground here, no boundaries, no sharp horizon, only endless, drifting blue stretching softly in every direction. Up here, every motion slows, every swirl of haze becomes gentle. Every breeze moves with the unhurried grace of a world that has known stillness longer than Earth has known sky. So breathe softly. Let the cool giant ease the weight in your chest. Let its soft aqua glow guide each inhale and release each exhale. Let the calm of Uranus' drifting sky carry you into deep, effortless rest. Welcome to Uranus Aqua Sleep Drift, a quiet voyage through the cool, glowing calm of an ice giant, and an invitation into deep, peaceful sleep. Oh, drift slowly through the soft darkness of the outer solar system. All around you, the stars shine with a quiet clarity that can only exist in deep space. No haze, no warmth, just clean, crisp starlight passing through the cold. Behind you, the glowing orbits of the inner planets fade into the distance. Their warm colors soften. Their light dissolves into memory. Here, in the outer reaches, everything becomes cooler, quieter, more open. The sun is still with you, but now it glows like a small, distant ember, not bright enough to illuminate with heat, only bright enough to whisper a thin silver light across your path. As you drift forward, a soft blue glow begins to rise on the horizon of space. Pale at first, almost like a faint watercolor wash. Then slowly, very slowly, it grows, expands, deepens. The glow spreads across your vision in layers of aqua, teal, and icy cyan. It's soft, it's calming, it feels like sinking into a cool bath of light. You are approaching Uranus, the distant ice giant, a world wrapped in cold, serene beauty, a world that moves with slow elegance at the edge of the sun's warmth. Uranus rotates on its side, tilted almost completely over, as if it once decided to lie down and never got back up. Because of this tilt, the planet rolls through space like a giant, glowing marble. Its rings lie vertically. Its poles rotate directly toward and away from the sun. And its sky behaves unlike any other sky in the solar system. As you drift closer, you see the planet's atmosphere begin to take shape. Smooth, clean, unbroken by violent storms or deep, swirling clouds. Just soft, gentle gradients of blue drifting from one layer to the next. The calmness is profound, soothing, silent in a way that feels almost unreal. It is as if the planet itself is breathing slowly, a long, cool exhale stretched across millions of kilometers. You drift above the upper haze. The atmosphere spreads beneath you in calm ribbons of pale aqua. The layers move gently, gliding in slow, elongated bands around the tilted world. There are no bright colors here, no sharp contrasts, only cool tones that blend like soft watercolor strokes. As you descend closer, you notice the air becoming thicker, not physically, but visually. The haze grows deeper, more saturated, like light passing through ice. Tiny particles of methane scatter sunlight into shades of cyan and blue. This is why Uranus glows in its iconic color, a soft, cool radiance created by a dance of tiny molecules and distant sunlight. You drift through the upper atmosphere now. The temperature drops sharply, not harshly, not painfully, just clean, crisp, cold. A cold that feels like clarity, like spaciousness, like stillness settling deeper into your chest. The air here is thin, quiet. The winds move slowly, with long, sweeping motions that circle the entire planet. Nothing rushes, nothing pulls. Everything moves with the patience of a world that has taken its time for billions of years. As you sink further, the cool blue haze thickens. Light no longer scatters freely. It bends, curves, softens into diffused glow that surrounds your entire body. The deeper you drift, the more the world around you becomes a gentle ocean of aqua light. There is no ground beneath you, no solid surface waiting below. Uranus is a world of sky, layer after layer of atmosphere and cloud, stretching downward for thousands of kilometers. You relax into the drift. Your breathing slows. The cool glow wraps around you like a soft blanket of icy color. You feel lighter, quieter, calmer. Below you, thin cloud bands begin to appear, subtle streaks of white and pale blue flowing around the planet. They move with quiet rhythm, circling the globe in wide, slow currents. These clouds are made of methane ice crystals, tiny frozen particles drifting in the upper layers of the atmosphere. The motion is hypnotic. Each band stretches endlessly around the tilted world. Their edges blur softly, melting into the bands beside them. They form smooth, continuous patterns with no breaks, no violent disruptions, no chaotic spirals. Uranus is the calmest of all the giant planets. Its storms are muted. Its winds, even when fast, feel slow from a distance. Its atmosphere dims harshness and magnifies softness. You feel that softness now as you drift between the cloud layers. Thin sheets of bluish mist move beneath you. They ripple slightly, then smooth out again. The movement feels like quiet breath, inhaling gently, exhaling slowly. Higher clouds cast faint shadows on the layers below. These shadows stretch long and pale across the cyan haze. They drift with elegant slowness, as if carved by the softest motion imaginable. Everywhere you look, light is diffused. Shadows are blurred. Edges melt. Forms dissolve. This is a world of transitions, soft ones, quiet ones, all flowing into one another without urgency. You drift deeper still. The atmosphere grows slightly darker. The blue becomes deeper, more saturated. The sunlight fades into cool silver tones. You feel the cold settling through the layers of your mind. Not chilling, not numbing, just peaceful, like stepping into a room cooled by a gentle night breeze after a long, warm day. The next layer of clouds moves underneath you. These are thicker, heavier, but still soft in appearance. They stretch across the planet in vast, faintly glowing sheets. Methane ice, ammonia crystals, water vapor, frozen in layers too deep to see clearly, all drifting, all moving slowly in the tilted gravity of this pale blue giant. Occasionally, you see faint storms, but not storms like Jupiter's great tempests. Here they appear as subtle white ovals, barely brighter than the surrounding haze. They drift, gently, slowly, as if even the storms are reluctant to disturb the peace. You drift alongside one of these pale storms. Its edges swirl softly, like a gentle spiral drawn with the thinnest brush. There is no violence in its motion, no aggression, just a quiet rotation that feels ancient and steady. You pass through faint wisps of high, icy clouds. They move like thin curtains around you, their icy crystals scattering light into shimmering arcs that appear and disappear with your movement. The sensation is calming in a way that settles deep into your chest. Uranus has no sharp boundaries, only layers of cool, drifting atmosphere. As you descend deeper, the pressure slowly increases. But the transition is gentle, gradual, soft. The blue around you darkens into a deep aqua glow. The world feels quieter. The temperature remains cold, cold enough to still your thoughts, clear your mind, and create a peaceful emptiness inside you. You feel yourself floating through a vast, suspended ocean of glowing mist. You are weightless, effortless, your breath long and slow. Above you, sunlight fades through the upper clouds, scattering into faint beams that stretch downward like cool, icy rays. These beams dissolve gently as they enter the haze, becoming soft gradients of pale blue and silver. Around you, faint particles drift in the atmosphere. They glow softly when touched by light. Tiny, floating crystals of methane ice, each one shining for a moment, then fading into the cool blue distance. The deeper you drift, the more the world takes on a dreamlike quality. Light moves slowly. Clouds shift gently. Colors melt into one another, like watercolor flowing across wet paper. Your mind begins to drift. Thoughts soften. Edges blur. Everything becomes part of the same cool, drifting calm. You float through one more thin layer of clouds. Their tops glow faintly. Their bottoms fade into the deep aqua haze. You feel as though you are gliding through a quiet sea of frozen breath. Uranus rotates slowly beneath you. Its tilt makes the movement feel different, as though the world is rolling sideways under a blanket of pale blue light. The slow spin creates gentle, wide arcs in the clouds, stretching them across the atmosphere like soft brush strokes. You drift along one of these arcs now. It guides you like a path, leading you deeper into the serene layers of the planet's sky. Your breathing aligns with the planet's slow rotation. You inhale as the arc curves upward. You exhale as it curves downward. The rhythm lulls you deeper into calm. This is the beginning of your journey through Uranus' cool, aqua atmosphere, a world of drifting, blue, quiet, soft light, and icy calm. And as you move deeper, layer by layer, your body grows heavier, your mind grows lighter, and your entire being settles into peaceful drift. You continue drifting deeper into the calm, cool atmosphere of Uranus. Above you, the pale blue haze you pass through becomes a soft ceiling, a glowing mist that diffuses the sun's light into faint silver-blue gradients. The deeper you go, the gentler the light becomes. Harsh brightness fades. Shadows soften. All contrast dissolves into smooth layers of teal and icy cyan. The winds here move in slow, wide circles. Not turbulent, not rushed, but steady, long ribbons of air gliding around the tilted world, carrying clouds in smooth, unbroken paths. You feel your breath sinking with this slow motion. They flow around you without resistance, like cool breath passing across your skin. You move effortlessly, weightless within the haze. Here, the temperature drops even more, but the cold feels peaceful, a clean, effortless quiet that slows your thoughts and steadies your breathing. In this region, the clouds form subtle patterns, long ovals, soft streaks, sometimes faint, wave-like ripples. These patterns arise from the slow winds that circle the planet winds that, despite their great speed, feel calm because of the vast scale of the world. Even the fastest movement here looks slow, measured, dreamlike. As you drift through a wide current of cloud, you notice tiny ice crystals shimmering around you. Each crystal floats gently, reflecting pale blue light like a drifting piece of frosted glass. When they turn, they scatter light in smooth arcs, miniature rainbows made of aqua and silver. You pass through a cluster of these crystals now. Their cool glimmers drift around you like soft stars suspended in mist. Each flake moves with a gentle rhythm, rising and falling in slow, graceful patterns. These crystals are born from the cold, upper layers of Uranus, where methane vapor freezes into tiny geometric forms. Over time, the crystals drift downward, merging with deeper clouds, or dissolving back into vapor as pressures change. The cycle is slow, endless, calming. You continue gliding deeper. The gradient darkens from pale cyan to soft aqua to deeper teal. You feel as though you are sinking into an illuminated ocean of color. Every motion, slow. Every change, gentle. As the haze thickens, you begin to see long, horizontal bands running across the atmosphere. These bands are subtle, not as bold as Jupiter's stripes or Saturn's golden rings, but gentle, blended transitions between layers of cool gas. Each band represents a zone of wind flow, where atmosphere moves one way, then the next layer moves another. But from your perspective, all of it looks smooth and quiet, like the faint, shifting light beneath the surface of a quiet pool. You drift closer to one of these bands. Its color is a deep, calm aqua, carrying colder methane clouds within it. The band stretches endlessly around the planet, curving upward and downward due to Uranus' tilted axis. You slip into this band now. The environment shifts, not by temperature, but by mood. The light becomes dimmer, a little deeper, a little more soothing. The haze thickens just slightly, like walking into a cool room lined with quiet blue shadows. Here, you notice small features, tiny, bright patches of cloud, barely larger than islands floating in a vast ocean. These patches are subtle storms, gentle storms, storms so faint that they look like soft blur marks brushed onto the planet's surface. You drift beside one of these patches. Its swirl is delicate, barely twisting, a simple curl of white against deep teal. This is a methane ice vortex. It turns slowly, softly. If you watch closely, you can see faint streaks of icy vapor trailing behind it, like soft ribbons drifting in cool water. You continue drifting to a quieter region, a broad, open layer. The visibility opens. Light spreads more evenly. This region feels airy, expansive, like sinking into the middle of a calm dream. Here, you feel gravity lighten. Not literally, but perceptually. The clouds drift farther apart, giving you a sense of floating above a boundless, glowing canvas. Faint rays of sunlight still reach this far. They fall through the upper layers in thin beams, creating subtle shafts of illumination that move with the planet's slow rotation. You drift through one of these beams. Its cool glow wraps around you softly, blending with the blue beneath you until you feel completely enveloped in aqua light. Your breath deepens. Your muscles soften. Your thoughts drift with the tiny icy particles moving around you. The farther inward you go, the darker the blue becomes. Not ominous, not heavy, just deeper, like descending the calm layers of an ocean. You drift into a region where the pressure increases slightly. The haze thickens into a more opaque, turquoise glow. In this region, different ices form ammonia, water, methane, each contributing to the soft gradients of color. The clouds here move in broader structures. Some stretch into long, faintly glowing sheets. Some form gentle arcs across the sky. Some gather into pale, elliptical shapes that drift like cool, floating islands. You pass through one of these drifting islands now. It is made of larger methane crystals, collected in calm air pockets. The crystals glint softly as they drift around you. Some move upward in slow, spiraling currents. Some fall gently downward into deeper haze. The motion resembles delicate snow in a world made entirely of blue. Beneath you, the next layer slowly takes shape. A darker, richer cyan. Calmer, cooler, heavier. The pressure increases here, but you feel only softness, the atmosphere thickening into deeper glow, like lowering yourself into a quiet, luminescent pool. This region marks the transition into the mid-atmosphere, where the gases swirl in long, planet-wide currents. Nothing is rushed. Every motion spans thousands of kilometers and takes hours, even days, to unfold. You drift through one of these long currents now. The flow is smooth, unbroken. It carries you effortlessly, like a gentle river of cool air. Tiny suspended particles drift with you, turning slowly in the faint aqua light. You feel your entire body soften into the flow. Thoughts dissolve. Breath slows. Awareness becomes a quiet, drifting echo. The deeper you sink, the more the atmosphere glows from within a faint, cold luminescence generated by scattered sunlight and reflected light from deeper clouds. You drift into this glow. It surrounds you completely. Everything becomes soft, cool, silent. A world of blue calm stretching downward for thousands of meters. You are now deep within the cool, aqua sky of Uranus, past the upper haze, past the gentle storms, moving toward the layers where the atmosphere becomes even darker, even quieter, even more serene. Your journey continues inward, calm deepening, breath slowing, body relaxing into weightless drift. And the deeper you go, the softer the world becomes. The quieter the mind grows, the more your entire being settles into the cool, cosmic calm of this pale blue giant. You continue sinking gently into the deeper atmosphere of Uranus. The pale glow from the higher layers fades softly above you, diffusing into a smooth gradient of cool, darkening blue. The deeper currents of the planet begin to envelop you, now slow. Sweeping motions of gas and ice drifting in patterns older than Earth's continents. Below you, the haze thickens into deeper tones of teal. The atmosphere becomes more opaque, yet still glows faintly with scattered light. It's like descending into a quiet ocean, illuminated by soft, icy radiance. The higher, delicate clouds are gone. Here, the clouds are thicker, broader, flowing across the planet in long sheets that ripple gently with the slow rotation of Uranus. Each movement of these clouds feels ancient, measured, as if the entire atmosphere breathes once every hour, exhaling calm, inhaling quiet. You drift into one of these broad sheets now. Its surface is smooth, almost glass-like, but made of vapor and ice. When you move through it, the layer parts around you like thin, cold smoke. The sensation is weightless, gentle, as though drifting through cool silk. Tiny droplets of condensed methane float in the air. They shimmer when they catch distant sunlight, but quickly fade into the dim teal darkness as light dissolves. You pass through pockets of slightly warmer air, warm only in comparison to the surrounding cold. The difference is faint, but you feel it like a soft hand brushing the edges of your awareness. These small variations in temperature guide the rhythm of the deeper atmospheric currents. The currents here are wider, stronger, yet somehow feel even calmer. They move entire layers of atmosphere with slow, planetary grace. Long, sweeping flows wrap around Uranus like ribbons of drifting water. Your body moves with one of these currents now. It carries you effortlessly along its path. You feel no pull, no resistance, just smooth, continuous glide like floating within a dream made of aqua light. As you drift, you begin to notice faint shadows appearing beneath the teal haze. Soft, dark shapes drifting slowly upward from deeper layers. These are the tops of deeper cloud structures, denser clouds composed of ammonia, water, and methane ices. Their forms are subtle, gentle, barely lifting themselves into the mid-atmosphere. You descend toward them now. Their contours sharpen slightly as you approach, though still wrapped in the dim aqua glow. Each structure looks like a rounded hill of vapor, the top glowing faintly, the sides fading into darker blue. A slow-moving storm system sits below you. Not fierce, not violent, just a large, swirling circulation, a broad, calm oval, drifting through the teal atmosphere. The storm rotates with smooth, even motion, its shape stable and soft. You drift above it, watching the gentle spiral turn. The cool colors blend aqua near the edges, teal nearer the center, deep blue in the shadows cast by the layers above. From up here, the storm feels like a quiet eye, a peaceful vortex turning with the planet's long, slow breath. You descend slightly. The air becomes thicker, not heavy, just full. Layers of vapor glide past your body like soft, cool currents. Everything feels slower, deeper, quieter. Beneath you, faint flashes appear, tiny sparks of static created by ice crystals brushing together. Unlike Jupiter's fierce lightning, these flashes are gentle, silent, rare. They flicker softly, illuminating the deeper clouds with pale white flashes that last only a heartbeat. As the flashes fade, you see the deeper atmosphere reveal itself again. Smooth gradients of blue, layered clouds drifting like slow waves, vast currents moving with quiet momentum. You drift lower, softer, calmer. At this depth, sunlight barely reaches you. Only a whisper of illumination remains, a faint glow that filters down from the layers above. The light paints the atmosphere in dark teal hues, like moonlight diffused through deep ocean water. Your body relaxes even further. Every breath is slow. Every exhale dissolves effortlessly into the cool air. The deeper layers of Uranus are warmer but still cold by any earthly measure. The warmth arises from internal heat, from slow, deep processes within the planet's core. As you drift, you begin to sense these warmer pockets. They move like invisible tides, softly rising through the heavier atmosphere. When you pass through them, the subtle warmth feels soothing, a gentle counterpoint to the cold. Your descent continues. You reach a region where the cloud layers stack more clearly. Rounded tops, misty edges, deep shadows between them. Some clouds tower higher than others, but all drift with slow, steady ease. you glide between two of these clouds. The space between them feels like a corridor of cool vapor, lit only by faint teal glow filtering in from above. The condensation on their edges glistens briefly, then fades into darkness as you move deeper inside. Here, the atmosphere becomes incredibly calm. No sudden shifts, no rapid winds, just slow sweeping motions guiding everything in wide, gentle arcs. Your thoughts fall into the same pattern: long, slow, unhurried, drifting like the clouds around you. Deeper still, the color of the atmosphere shifts again from teal to deep aqua to a darker shade, resembling cool twilight. Light dims, clouds soften into silhouettes, but the calm grows stronger. The darkness feels peaceful, soothing, like sinking into the deepest part of a quiet dream. Occasionally, soft pulses of light stretch through the haze. This is Uranus, internal glow, faint heat, producing subtle illumination in the mid-layers. It's not bright, barely visible, more like a soft suggestion of warmth moving through the cold. Your descent slows, not because of resistance, but because the atmosphere becomes denser, and the currents move more gradually. Everything here feels stretched, expanded, drawn out into slow motion. You drift beside a towering cloud column. Its top curves smoothly, its sides layered in gentle folds of condensation. The structure is shaped by slow vertical winds rising from deeper regions. These winds move upward like soft, cool pillars, lifting vapor, cooling it, and forming beautiful, rounded cloud layers. The column drifts with the horizontal winds as well, creating a slow, spiraling motion. Not tight, not rapid, just a wide, gentle twist. You move with it. You feel your body turning slowly, your vision shifting through different shades of blue. Each turn feels like a soft rotation of thought, a slow settling of awareness. Eventually, the column fades into the surrounding haze as you drift past it. Deeper layers of cloud wait below. Darker, calmer, warmer in places. You pass into a region of thicker methane clouds. Their color is deeper, more saturated, a rich turquoise that glows faintly with trapped sunlight. These clouds trap heat and light, reflecting it back into the atmosphere. This creates subtle patches of brighter glow. Soft, diffused, like glimmers of bioluminescence drifting through deep ocean water. You drift through one of these glowing patches now. The light surrounds you like a cool halo. Your breath synchronizes with the slow flickering. The motion is calming, rhythmic. It sinks into your mind like a lullaby made of cold light. The deeper layers hold more complex cloud systems, mixes of water vapor, ammonia, and methane ices. Together, they create thick, billowing structures that rise and fall with gentle convection. You drift through a valley between two of these billows. The space feels sheltered, still, like the quietest hollow in a vast sky. Tiny droplets drift around you, catching faint light in their cool shimmer. They float upward for a moment, then slowly fall again. The pattern repeats endlessly. Upward drift, gentle fall. Upward drift, gentle fall. You feel your own breath moving the same way, flowing in cool, slow cycles. Deeper still, faint sounds begin to echo through the atmosphere. Not loud, not sharp, just distant. Soft vibrations, the hum of the planets, deep convection, the gentle rumble of shifting heat far below. These vibrations feel like soft, steady tones, cosmic hums that resonate through the deep layers of Uranus. You feel them through your body, not with your ears. They settle your chest, soften your shoulders, quiet the last traces of thought. The deep atmosphere becomes darker now. The teal glow dims into deep aqua. Cloud shadows grow longer. The world around you softens into cool, drifting shapes. You float there, suspended in serene blue twilight, in the quiet heart of Uranus' peaceful sky. Your descent will continue toward deeper layers, warmer currents, darker hues, and even calmer motion. But for now, you rest here, held by the slow breath of a pale blue giant. The deep currents of Uranus cradle you as you drift further downward. The atmosphere around you grows softer in color, shifting from dark teal into a richer indigo, infused with cool hints of blue-green that ripple gently through the haze. Here, beneath the upper and mid layers, sunlight barely reaches you. Only the faintest glow remains a soft, scattered illumination created by methane ice and deeper vapors, catching what little light filters down from miles above. The deeper you drift, the slower the world becomes. Clouds stretch into long shadows. Currents move like drifting silk. The entire atmosphere seems to exhale with ancient patience, as though the planet itself is gently rocking the entire sky in slow, soothing rhythm. You are moving into the region where cloud structures become heavier, denser, richer in color and texture. The pressure rises gradually, never sharply, never suddenly, but in a smooth, a continuous wave that you feel only as a deeper softness pressing gently around your body. Here, the clouds take on forms that resemble mountains. Not solid mountains, but vast, towering shapes of vapor rising in slow columns. Their tops rounded by cool convection. Their sides lit faintly by trapped glimmers of aqua light. You drift toward one of these towering vapor mountains now. Its form rises higher than any cloud on Earth, stretching upward like a cathedral of blue mist. The structure breathes slow currents rising along its sides, cool vapor descending through its core, all moving with a rhythm too vast to be rushed. As you approach, the air becomes warmer, just slightly. A gentle contrast to the cold, like stepping near a quiet heat source hidden beneath layers of soft blankets. This faint warmth is the result of internal heat rising from deeper within Uranus. A reminder that even in a world so cold, there are quiet engines of motion far below, guiding the planet's rhythms. You drift into an open chamber of atmosphere, a wide space between towering cloud structures that feels sheltered, protected, as if the vapor mountains form natural walls around you. Here, the air glows with a deep blue radiance, light faintly scattered through tiny particles suspended in the haze. The glow is not bright, not sharp, but soft, as though the world is lit from within by cool, quiet breath. You float through the space effortlessly. The motion of the air guides you with gentle currents. There is no resistance, no turbulence, only smooth, wide flow. that carries you deeper into the indigo layers. Occasionally, streaks of lighter blue appear, thin filaments of high-altitude frost drifting down from the upper clouds. They stretch like silk ribbons across the deeper atmosphere, twisting slowly, curling through the vapor, and dissolving softly as they fall. You reach out with your awareness, and the falling crystals drift past like cool snowfall in slow motion. Their glimmers faint against the growing darkness. As you move on, you notice the atmosphere beginning to layer itself more clearly. Thin bands of differing shades, teal, aqua, indigo, azure, stack gently on top of one another. These bands shift with the wind, stretching into wide arcs that wrap around the planet's tilted shape. You drift along one of these arcs now. It curves beneath you like a soft pathway of light. Every inch of it glows with gentle hints of blue. The arc guides your movement effortlessly, like a current beneath the surface of a calm sea. The deeper regions of Uranus hold many mysteries. Scientists believe there may be vast oceans beneath the cloud, layers oceans not of water, but of supercritical fluids, exotic materials under extreme pressure that behave like both gases and liquids. Though you are still far above these hidden oceans, you can feel the subtle shift in the air as pressure gently increases. Clouds thicken, colors deepen, currents slow even further. You drift downward into a dark teal fog. It surrounds you completely, wrapping your senses in cool, quiet stillness. For a moment, there are no shapes, only the sensation of drifting through soft, suspended twilight. Then, slowly, faint lights appear in the fog. Not bright, just tiny pulses of dull blue. These lights are the result of electrical charges created by colliding ice particles. Unlike the fierce lightning of Jupiter or Saturn, Uranus produces softer discharges, gentle glows rather than sharp flashes. The pulses flicker, dim, glow again, each one spreading faint illumination through the haze. You drift through the field of glowing particles. Their soft pulses guide you like stars scattered within the atmosphere. Each flicker feels like a gentle heartbeat. Steady, calming. Your breath aligns with the rhythm. Inhale with the glow. Exhale with the dimming. A deep sense of serenity settles over you, wrapping your mind in the cool quiet of the indigo sky. Below you, the haze begins to shift, pulling apart into wide, open layers. The deeper atmosphere reveals itself like slow opening curtains. Soft ripples form across the clouds as deeper winds rise. You drift into this new region. It feels heavier, calmer still. The world around you becomes almost perfectly silent. Only the faint hum of the planet's internal movements resonates through the atmosphere, vibrating softly through your body, like a low, soothing tone. In the dim light, you see large, gently rotating structures, massive cloud ovals, drifting with slow, sideways motion. Because Uranus spins on its side, the storms here move differently from any other planet. Their motion is horizontal, rolling sideways across the atmosphere like slow waves pushing across a calm, endless sea. You drift above one of these sideways storms now. Its edges curl softly. Its interior glows faintly. It is peaceful, steady, content to drift through the planets. At this depth, the atmosphere begins to transition. Methane clouds grow sparse. heavier compounds take their place. The colors shift once more from indigo to dark, deep ultramarine. The world grows quietly darker, but never oppressive. The darkness feels like soft velvet, wrapping you in vast, gentle calm. You drift through layers where hydrocarbon mists form long strands across the sky. These strands stretch like faint smoke trails, barely visible in the dim glow. They twist slowly, held together by the calm winds that circle the planet. The deeper you go, the more these mists thicken. They merge into soft sheets that ripple in slow motion, cosmic curtains swaying in a cool, invisible breeze. You slip between two of these curtains now. The space is narrow, quiet, almost womb-like. You feel a deep, instinctive sense of peace, as if cradled gently within the planet's calm interior. Warm updrafts rise from the layers below. They envelop you in thin waves of comfort, like warm currents beneath a cold ocean. The contrast is subtle, barely perceptible, but soothing, a reminder of the hidden energy deep within Uranus' core. Below you, the atmosphere becomes more luminous again. A faint glow rises from the deeper layers, carrying hints of aqua and pale violet. This internal glow is faint, but in the deep darkness, it feels like a lantern shining through soft fog. You drift toward the glow, descending into warmer, denser regions, where the gases compress enough to create deeper brilliance. Here, the atmosphere behaves more like a thick, glowing fluid. Clouds move in slow, rounded shapes, their forms bending and merging like gentle waves beneath a night tide. The light settles into your awareness. Your thoughts begin to flow with the currents. Your breath becomes long and slow. Every exhale melts into the indigo haze. You move deeper still toward the transitional region where Uranus' atmosphere blends into exotic, high-pressure fluids. You won't reach the true oceans, not yet, but you are drifting toward their boundary, toward the place where the calm of the sky becomes the quiet of the deep. The world shifts again. Colors deepen. Shapes blur. Haze thickens. And through it all, you drift quietly, gently, peacefully, held by the cool breath of an ice giant. The deeper atmosphere of Uranus settles around you like a cool, heavy blanket. You float downward through thickening indigo haze, your movement slow, steady, unhurried. The last hints of sunlight from above fade into soft memories, a pale glow dissolving into the vast, trembling quiet of the deep. Here, light is no longer something that shines. It drifts. It moves through the haze like distant pulses, gentle glimmers carried by the slow shifting of methane and hydrocarbon clouds. Every faint glow feels like a heartbeat of the planet, calm, ancient, and soothingly rhythmic. As you descend, the air grows warmer. Not warm, not by earthly standards, but warmer than the icy upper layers. Layers of gas compress here, concentrating Uranus' hidden heat. You feel that warmth as a gentle, comforting presence, like a hand resting softly against your back, guiding you deeper. Below you, the haze pulls apart. Wide columns of vapor rise from the depths, moving with slow rolling motions. They twist gently, like smoke drifting upward in cool air. The convection is subtle, barely perceptible from above, but you feel it through the soft currents that lift and lower your body. These rising plumes carry faint traces of deeper chemicals: hydrogen, helium, ammonia, and trace hydrocarbons that shimmer faintly when they mix with the colder layers above. Around each plume, small particles condense, then evaporate again in a slow, cyclical breath. The air glows with soft pulses as these particles scatter what little light remains. You drift closer to one of these plumes. The current rising from it is warm and slow, lifting you gently, then releasing you back to drifting calm. The motion eases tension in your body, each upward rise like a long inhale, each downward drift like a deeper exhale. Your breath becomes fluid, slow, aligned perfectly with the atmosphere's rhythm. The deeper you travel, the more the atmosphere begins to lose its translucence. Colors blend into dense gradients: navy, indigo, dusky teal, each layer growing more saturated. You drift into a region where the haze thickens into a semi-fluid medium. Here, the gases behave like something between air and water, an intermediate state shaped by pressure and temperature. Your motion becomes even slower, calmer. Every shift around you feels more like drifting through a cool, glowing ocean than through sky. Tiny droplets gather on your path, microscopic beads of exotic fluids that hover in suspension. When they catch faint internal light, they shimmer like soft stars floating through a midnight sea. You glide through them slowly, each droplet drifting aside with delicate gentleness. Beneath you, you begin to see distinct cloud layers again, but now they bend inward. The Pasava and Maivri with their Pasava with Sian Stan, curving around the planet in immense bands that stretch for thousands of kilometers. These are the mid to deep atmospheric layers, where different compounds condense at specific pressures. Ammonia clouds above them, hydrogen sulfide clouds, forming delicate veils between. You drift toward a band of pale, ghostly cloud, faint, almost invisible in the dimness. This is a layer of hydrogen sulfide ice, condensed into soft, mist-like sheets that stretch endlessly across the planet. The cloud emits faint glimmers of blue-green, light reflected from layers above. Its texture is softer than anything you've seen so far: smooth, velvety, like a quiet fog lying across a calm sea. You sink gently into this layer. It parts around you with no resistance, enfolding you in its soft coolness. For a moment, you feel suspended within a glowing blanket of mist. Light pulses faintly through the haze, creating slow, dreamy fluctuations of brightness that move across your vision like deep-sea bioluminescence. Your mind grows quieter still. Thoughts become sparse. Your awareness softens into the surrounding calm. Below this layer, the atmosphere grows darker, a deep, calm blue with hints of violet. You drift into this deeper region. Cloud structures rise around you in rounded shapes, like massive underwater hills formed from exotic ices. Their surfaces glow faintly, reflecting whatever light reaches them. They drift in slow motion, their boundaries soft and blurred by pressure. You glide between two of these rounded forms. The space feels like a cool valley between ocean waves frozen in slow time. As you move through the valley, you feel subtle vibrations resonating through the deeper atmosphere, not sounds, but low-frequency pulses that move through the gas itself. These vibrations are the deep breath of the planet. Fluids moving, currents adjusting slowly over time. You breathe with these pulses. Each vibration settles into your body like a soft hum. Your chest relaxes. Your muscles loosen. Your awareness floats. Below you, the colors continue shifting into deeper hues. You begin to enter the transitional region where the atmosphere shifts from gas into supercritical fluid. Here, the distinction between liquid and gas fades. The medium around you becomes thicker, heavier, yet still completely smooth. Your motion slows to gentle drift, as if floating in calm, dense water. The light dims further. Only a few scattered rays from higher layers filter down in soft, aqua beams. They dissolve slowly into the deeper fluid, like moonlight melting into a still lake. You drift into one of these beams now. The cool glow wraps around you, soft and diffused. It illuminates faint particles suspended in the fluid microscopic crystals, tiny droplets, fragments of deeper vapor. They drift past your body like underwater snow. Your breath deepens. Your awareness expands and softens at the same time. This region feels like the heart of calm, the place where stillness becomes something you can almost touch. Beneath you, clouds grow more layered and stratified. The pressure here supports the formation of dense water ammonia clouds, thick, heavy structures that rise and fall in slow, consistent cycles. You drift toward one of these clouds. Its surface glows faintly with internal heat, a soft, bluish luminescence that spreads across its top like gentle firelight beneath a blanket of fog. The cloud spreads wide beneath you, stretching across the planet in a smooth, rolling curve. You descend onto it, but do not sink instead. You float inches above its rounded surface, held by a thin layer of density, contrast between the fluid above and the heavier cloud below. It feels like resting on a bed of soft vapor. Your body relaxes into the sensation support without pressure, weightlessness with comfort. You drift slowly along the cloud's surface. Its shape moves subtly beneath you, expanding, contracting, breathing in, gentle, thermal pulses. Each pulse feels like a quiet lullaby, calming your mind, slowing your breath. You begin to drift downward again, gliding off the edge of the cloud, falling softly into deeper fluid layers. The world grows darker. Only faint glimmers remain. The colors shift into deep blue-violet, then into a soft midnight shade, cool, gentle, restful. You are approaching the boundary where the atmosphere becomes an ocean. Not an ocean of water, but an ocean of supercritical fluid, a vast sea of hydrogen-rich material blending seamlessly with gas above. You will not descend all the way, but you drift close enough to sense its calm. The deeper fluid glows with faint internal warmth, spreading soft pulses of pale, ghostly blue through the darkness. Each pulse is slow, wide, like a giant heart beating deep beneath the planet's sky. You drift closer to the glow. Your body melts into stillness. Your mind settles into cool, blue, quiet. Every breath feels long and effortless. You have reached the deep calm of Uranus, the region where sky and ocean merge, where light and shadow blend, where time slows to the pace of drifting currents. And here, surrounded by indigo fluid and silent pulses of planetary warmth, you rest. You drift just above the boundary where Uranus' atmosphere begins to shift into its hidden ocean. Here, the world feels suspended, as though you are resting in the soft pause between sky and sea. The fluid around you is dense, smooth, cool, moving with slow, curling motions that resemble underwater currents mixed with drifting clouds. This is not an ocean as Earth knows it. There are no waves, no tides, no splashes. The fluid behaves like a perfect blend of gas and liquid, flowing with infinite softness. It embraces you from all sides, cradling you in blue stillness. The light here is faint, not gone, but muted into soft glows that shimmer through the deeper layers like quiet bioluminescent tides. Pale aqua pulses drift upward from below, each one expanding slowly, touching the fluid around you and fading into gentle indigo. Your breath follows the pulses slow, round, unhurried. Each inhale draws in the calm. Each exhale dissolves into the silence. Below you lies the mysterious interior of Uranus, an ocean of supercritical fluid stretching thousands of kilometers downward. No surface separates the atmosphere from this deep sea. The layers blend seamlessly, sky thickening into liquid, liquid thinning into sky. A gradual transition shaped by pressure, temperature, and time. You drift closer to this unseen ocean. The deeper currents begin to influence your motion. Warm pockets rise from below, pushing you gently upward, while cooler layers above slowly draw you down again. You float between these contrasting flows, rocked softly like a small leaf drifting on slow, invisible tides. The colors around you deepen: midnight blue, indigo black, deep violet, shimmered with faint hints of aqua. The palette is soothing, a quiet world painted in shadows of cold light. As you drift deeper, you begin to sense structures forming within the fluid, not solid, not fixed, but gentle gradients where temperature and pressure create shapes. You move toward one such shape now. It resembles a cloud, but thicker, smooth as liquid glass. Its edges curve in rounded folds, each fold glowing faintly with reflected light. When you glide through it, the fluid shifts softly around you, moving like a gentle breath. The sensation is calming, like sliding through layers of cool silk. Tiny droplets swirl around you within the fluid. They drift slowly, rising and falling in long, graceful arcs. Scientists believe these droplets may contain mixtures of water and ammonia, small pockets that form and dissolve as the temperature shifts. Each droplet glimmers faintly as it passes close to you, catching internal light and scattering it into tiny sparks that fade as they drift away. You move deeper into the fluid. The pressure continues to rise, but in this dreamlike state, it feels like gentle hands holding you more securely. The atmosphere grows thicker, warmer. Your motion slows naturally. Every drift feels like gliding through deep sleep. Far below you, the internal heat of Uranus radiates upward. It's a subtle heat, nothing like Earth's volcanism or Jupiter's intense radiation. Instead, it manifests as soft warmth spreading smoothly through the fluid. This warmth rises in slow columns broad, ghostly currents that glow faintly with pale azure light. You drift toward one of these warm columns now. As you enter it, the warmth washes over you like a slow exhale. Your body relaxes deeper. Your awareness softens. Your breath becomes long and wide. The column lifts you slightly, carrying you upward a few meters, then releases you gently, letting you sink back into the cooler layer beside it. You drift within this gentle balance of warm rise and cool descent, the motions syncing perfectly with your heartbeat. You continue drifting downward, slowly, effortlessly. The darkness grows richer, but never heavy. It feels like a quiet, infinite sanctuary, a world untouched by noise, unhurried by time. Occasionally, faint flashes illuminate the fluid. These are deep electrochemical discharges, not lightning, but tiny sparks created by shifting particles under high pressure. They glow briefly, spreading rings of pale blue light through the darkness before fading like soft memories. You drift through one such illuminated moment. The light reveals soft structures in the fluid, folded shapes, curving gradients, pressurized currents, winding like underwater rivers. The shapes dissolve again as the flash dims, returning you to quiet darkness. As you descend, the fluid thickens further. It becomes heavier, more substantial, though still perfectly soft. The deeper regions behave almost like a liquid ocean, yet without the turbulence, without the noise, without the boundaries. Scientists believe that in these extreme depths, water and ammonia may form ionic oceans, conductive seas glowing with faint electrical charge. You drift toward this region now. The glow becomes more pronounced, not bright, but present. A muted radiance drifting upward through the fluid, like a slow heartbeat of the planet. You enter the glow. It wraps around you like cool, illuminated fog. Every movement becomes slow motion. Particles drift past you like shimmering dust in a still beam of light. Your breath deepens again. Your mind feels submerged in calm. You float through the fluid like a quiet traveler in a tranquil dream, guided only by soft colors and gentle pressure. Below you, the glow brightens slightly. A wide, diffused patch of aqua light rising from the deeper regions. This is not true luminosity, but the combined effect of pressure, heat, and chemical composition altering how light behaves. You drift just above this glowing region. The fluid here feels warmer, thicker, almost like sinking into a warm, deep ocean at night. It supports your body effortlessly, carries you gently, rocks you in slow, wide currents. The motion feels like the world holding you. It soothes you in ways deeper than thought, quieting every wandering idea and slowing every restless impulse. The currents here circle around the planet, moving like massive underwater streams. They are steady, predictable, profoundly calming. You drift with one of them now, moving horizontally through the deep fluid. Blue shadows ripple across your vision. Particles drift like snow. The world becomes one continuous field of calm. There is no up or down, no forward or back. Only gentle drift, glowing fluid under layers of cold, drifting atmosphere. Your body feels as light as breath. Your thoughts as slow as the currents. Your awareness as soft as the indigo around you. As you drift deeper still, the fluid thickens, just slightly more, but never constrains you. Instead, it cradles you more fully, like sinking into the quietest depths of a deep blue sea. Faint pulses travel through the fluid waves of pressure, moving from the core outward. You feel them as subtle vibrations, passing through your chest, your arms, your mind. They feel like slow lullabies, long notes played on a cosmic instrument. Each pulse settles you deeper into rest. Gradually, the fluid begins to lighten in color, indicating a transition to another layer. The warmth from below mixes with cooler layers above, creating gentle gradients of turquoise and indigo. This is one of the most peaceful depths of Uranus, the place where currents stabilize, where temperature aligns, where the world becomes a calm, drifting equilibrium. You settle here, floating weightlessly, your breath slow, your mind quiet, your body wrapped in cool, soft fluid, held in the serene balance of a sleeping planet. The deep quiet of Uranus surrounds you completely. No sharp motion, no noise, only drifting calm in an ocean of blue shadows and soft internal glow. And as you float in this stillness, you feel the boundary between yourself and the world around you begin to dissolve, not lost, but gently blended, like two currents meeting and moving as one. You float deeper into the tranquil interior of Uranus, drifting through a region where the planet's hidden ocean moves in long, slow rivers of supercritical fluid. These rivers are not like streams on Earth. There are no banks, no channel walls, no flowing turbulence. Instead, they form seamless currents, broad and smooth, moving with the steady patience of a world that has never known haste. The fluid around you is warm compared to the higher layers, though still cool in an absolute sense. The warmth feels comforting, a deep, internal glow rising from the planet's core, carried upward through thick, dense layers in steady, peaceful waves. You drift into one of the slow rivers now. The current embraces you immediately, moving your body with gentle purpose. There is no pull, no push, just effortless motion, as though the fluid itself has chosen a calm path for you to follow. The river bends, curving in a vast arc around the planet. Its movement is so large, so gradual, that you feel as if you're drifting through time itself. Long seconds stretch into minutes. Minutes stretch into stillness. Your thoughts soften to match the pace. Around you, the fluid glows with muted colors. Not bright, not flashing, just slow waves of aqua, teal, and deep sapphire rolling through the darkness in quiet gradients. These colors shift as the pressure changes, as the temperature moves subtly from warm to slightly warmer, or from cool to slightly cooler. You begin to sense the layering of the deep interior fine gradients, delicate boundaries, places where chemistry changes in soft, continuous transitions. Hydrogen becomes denser. Helium mixes more heavily. Water and ammonia gather in deeper concentrations. Trace compounds form strange, drifting clusters that glow faintly as they rise and fall. Some scientists believe that deep within this fluid, carbon may form in exotic ways, perhaps even condensing into solid structures under extreme pressure. Though you are still far above those profound depths, you feel the possibility reverberating below you, like a distant part reverberating, like a bestant pardas 18, quiet hum. Small particles drift upward through the river. They move lazily, spiraling in slow circles as the currents lift them. Each particle glows faintly, a soft, cold light swirling within the dense fluid. You drift alongside them. They feel like companions, quiet travelers sharing the same path. Their presence calms you even further. You breathe slowly, matching the rhythm of the drifting particles. Each inhale following their upward spiral, each exhale sinking with their gentle fall. The river widens now. Its boundaries dissolve, blending into a broad expanse of fluid filled with soft, glowing haze. The space feels enormous, like drifting through the interior of a quiet, submerged sky. Huge columns of warm fluid rise from below, spreading gently into the cooler layers above. They look like underwater plumes, billowing slowly in rounded shapes that rise, expand, and merge with the surrounding fluid. You glide toward one of these plumes. As you enter it, a subtle warmth wraps around your body, soft, soothing, like sinking into a warm bath after a long winter night. Your entire body relaxes. Every muscle loosens. Your breathing deepens, flowing in long, slow waves synchronized with the rising plume. The plume carries you upward a short distance, then releases you gently into a surrounding region of cooler fluid. The transition is so smooth that it feels like drifting between two layers of calm sleep. One warm, one cool, each nourishing in its own way. Below you, light pulses again. Soft, slow flashes, glowing through the fluid like distant lanterns, shining through a fog-covered sea. These pulses expand outward from deeper regions, moving through the ocean, in, wide. Slow rings. They are caused by thermal fluctuations and pressure changes. In the deep interior, small shifts in the massive forces that shape Uranus from within. You drift into one of the pulses now. It glows around you, reflecting off your body, illuminating tiny droplets suspended in the fluid. The droplets shimmer softly, like stars scattered through a quiet night sky. You float in the center of the pulse. Your breath slows further. Your heart feels weightless. Your mind quiets into a peaceful lull. As the pulse fades, the fluid darkens again into deep blue and purple shades. You drift through these colors, moving deeper. The river narrows again, forming a slow, focused current. Steady path leading downward through layers of greater density. The deeper you go, the more the fluid behaves like a warm, heavy liquid. Your movement slows naturally, your body sinking with gentle ease into the denser medium. Small, bubble-like structures form around you, not gas bubbles, but pockets where temperature differences cause the fluid to circulate in tiny loops. They look like beads of motion, glowing faintly as they swirl. You drift through them. Each loop brushes past you like a soft hand, cool on one side, warm on the other. The sensation is soothing, a quiet massage from the planet itself. The river then leads you into a wide basin, a calm region where currents slow almost to stillness. Here, the fluid settles into smooth, layered patterns. Long sheets of warm and cool fluid lie across each other like soft blankets. You drift downward onto one of these layers. It supports you gently, allowing you to glide across its surface with the ease of a leaf floating on a still lake. Below this layer, you see swirling shadows slow, deep currents shifting gradually like the movements of sleeping giants. They rise and fall, turning through the fluid in ancient cycles. You drift downward again, slipping past the layer and into a region where the currents form large, circular loops. These loops rotate slowly around wide centers, their motion invisible, except for the faint shimmer of particles moving along their paths. Their motion invisible. Their motion invisible. You drift into one of these loops. It lifts you gently, carrying you in a slow, circular glide. You feel the fluid moving around you, soft, consistent, almost like rocking in a cradle. Your thoughts slow to match the motion. Each rotation releases tension. Each pass loosens a different part of your mind. As you drift within the loop, the deeper interior of Uranus becomes clearer, a realm of subtle warmth, and one the was, and one this cond for indication into CCOS, perfect balance, and infinite calm. You drift deeper still. The river releases you again, carrying you toward the dim, glowing depths where the fluid becomes even denser and the planet's internal heat creates soft, shimmering gradients of light. These gradients ripple through the fluid like shifting auroras beneath a midnight sea. Blue, aqua, indigo, violet. They move slowly, as if painted by a quiet, ancient hand moving gently across the heart of the ice giant. You glide through the colors, letting them wrap around your awareness. Each wavelength softens your mind further. Each hue brings a deeper sense of rest. Here, in the quiet rivers of the deep, you feel as though you are drifting, not just through a planet, but through a vast, gentle dream. This is the cradle of Uranus, the slow, blue sanctuary, where the world moves in perfect calm, where pressure becomes comfort, where warmth becomes serenity, where motion becomes lullaby. And here, you rest held by cool currents, bathed in soft glow, floating within the quiet heart of a sleeping ice giant. The deep rivers of Uranus release you gently, carrying your body into a lower, the quieter region of the planet. Here, the fluid grows even denser, even smoother, moving with a kind of deep, internal stillness found only in the hidden hearts of worlds. Light behaves differently in this depth. It no longer travels in straight lines. Instead, it bends and curves through the thick medium. Thanks for watching. Rippling in soft gradients that drift like slow auroras beneath a vast, silent sea. As you sink deeper, the dark blues around you shift into rich navy, then into deep, muted sapphire, toned with faint violet glows rising from far below. These glows are not sparks, not lightning, but the result of gentle heat interacting with complex fluids under pressure, where different chemicals mix. Soft luminescence blooms, spreading through the fluid in wide, feathered waves that brighten and fade with unhurried rhythm. You drift into one of these glowing waves now, It washes across your body slowly, warming your awareness, relaxing your breath. The glow feels like a soft, cool blanket laid gently across your chest and wrapped around your shoulders. As the glow fades, the darkness deepens, but never becomes heavy. It remains soft, velvet-like, soothing, limitless. You continue downward. Around you, the pressure rises gradually, compressing the fluid into smoother, denser forms. Motion slows. Currents become wider, as though the entire interior of the planet moves in long, deliberate gestures. You drift into a region of layered flow sheets, of fluid sliding across one another with perfect softness, like silken fabrics drifting in slow motion. These layers vary slightly in temperature, creating subtle gradients of color. Turquoise, midnight blue, soft amethyst, hints of pale, ghostly green. The layers shift and fold gently, each movement releasing a faint ripple that passes across your skin like a whisper of cool wind. You sink deeper into the folds of these layers, letting them wrap around you, letting your thoughts dissolve into their rhythm. Above you, the last hints of lighter blue fade away. Below you, a new form of glow begins to rise deeper, warmer, more diffused. This glow originates from the planet's internal heat, spreading upward through the thick, supercritical sea. It pulses softly, in long, slow cycles, lasting many minutes. You drift into the path of one of these pulses. The fluid warms around you, just slightly, just enough to ease deeper tension from your muscles. You release a breath you hadn't realized you were holding. The warmth moves through your chest, loosening your thoughts, quieting your mind. The glow brightens, illuminating faint structures within the fluid, large, rounded shapes of different densities stacked gently over one another, each drifting in slow, graceful curves. These structures rise and fall with the thermal cycles within the planet. Some expand, then contract. Some divide into smaller currents before merging again minutes later. They behave like living clouds beneath an unseen ocean surface. You glide over one of them. Its top is smooth and warm, glowing faintly with internal light. The heat emanating from below creates soft plumes that rise around you in slow, curling motions. You allow the rising plume to lift you gently, carrying you higher within the deep fluid. The warmth is soothing, like floating through warm steam in an immense, quiet cavern. As you drift upward, the glow fades, shifting into deeper blues again. You float sideways now, guided by wide, horizontal currents that circle the planet in slow rings. These currents are immense, so wide and steady that they take hours to move from one region to the next. They shape the deep weather patterns of Uranus, guiding heat and forming the subtle storms far above in the visible atmosphere. You drift into one of these horizontal rings. It carries you with perfect steadiness, gliding your body through a corridor of deep indigo fluid. Wandering glows. The fluid hums with soft vibrations, not sound, but waves of pressure moving through the deep interior. These vibrations travel slowly, spreading outward in gentle ripples. You feel them pass through your chest like slow, distant heartbeats from the planet itself. Each pulse relaxes you further. Each wave settles another layer of thought. As you drift along the ring, You notice patterns forming in the fluid. Spiral shapes, long, flowing filaments, soft eddies that rise and dissolve like smoke curls underwater. These patterns shift constantly, guided by slight temperature differences, subtle chemical gradients, and the slow spin of the planet tilted on its unusual axis. You drift through one of the spirals. It curls around you, forming a rotating path that guides you deeper inside its soft embrace. Your body turns slightly with the motion, not spinning, just rotating gently, in slow, calming arcs. The fluid darkens again. The colors shift into a deep, restful navy with hints of violet shimmer drifting through its currents. Then, without warning, but without force, the fluid around you becomes brighter. A new glow spreads from below, stronger than before, radiating upward in soft aqua waves. This deeper glow comes from the warm ocean, the region where pressure and heat form an ionic mixture of water and ammonia. The mixture conducts electricity slightly, allowing faint, glowing currents to move through it in broad, gentle sheets. You drift toward this glowing boundary. Its light grows from faint to soft to warm, wrapping the deep ocean in a luminous haze. You enter the light. The glow surrounds you like warm mist rising from a thermal pool on a winter night. The warmth is gentle, not hot, but embracing. Particles drift upward in the glow, shimmering like soft snowflakes carried by warm underwater currents. Your body relaxes more deeply than anywhere above. Your breath deepens into long, effortless waves. Your mind floats loosely, untethered, quiet. The ionic ocean beneath you moves slowly. Its surface, though not truly a surface, shimmers with internal motion and the faint glow of electrical activity. You hover just above this glowing region, held loosely by a balance of currents. Below you, soft flashes ripple through the fluid, not lightning, but slow, gentle releases of charge dissipating into the deep. Each flash illuminates the surrounding ocean in wide circles of pale blue and aqua. The circles expand and fade, like the breathing of a sleeping world. As you drift above them, the pulses pass through your body in calming waves, settling into your awareness like rhythmic whispers. You sink slightly, just enough to feel the warmth more fully. The glowing fluid embraces you with peaceful steadiness. You hover there, resting in the quiet cradle between warm light below and cool darkness above. Nothing moves quickly here. Nothing rushes. Everything drifts. Everything breathes. Everything settles into calm. This depth feels infinite. A world without boundaries. A world without sound. A world where time slows to the same pace as drifting currents. You float, weightless, wrapped in layers of cool blue silence. Your breath synchronized with the glowing pulses of Uranus' deep heart. And here, in the luminous quiet beneath, you rest deeply, peacefully, completely held by the dreamlike stillness of an ancient ice giant. You remain suspended above the softly glowing ionic ocean of Uranus, resting in the luminous cradle that separates the cold upper layers from the warm, electrical depths beneath. Here, the world feels balanced. Coolness above, warmth below, and your body floating gently between two halves of a vast, sleeping realm. The light rising from the ocean glows in long, slow waves. It spreads outward in calming pulses, illuminating the deep fluid in muted shades of aqua and pale blue. Each pulse travels upward through the heavy medium, touching your body with soft warmth before fading into the darker layers above. Your breath follows these waves. Inhale with the glow. Exhale with the dimming. A simple rhythm, steady and quiet, carrying you slowly deeper into rest. As the warm pulses continue, the deeper currents of Uranus shift subtly. Broad, gentle flows rise from beneath the Ionic Ocean, fluids enriched with ammonia and water, but when may with Contang market, with Contang may, with Contang mark, moving in slow spirals shaped by heat and pressure. These spirals drift upward like massive underwater columns, expanding gradually as they rise. You glide toward one now. Its shape is immense, a towering plume stretching from far below, glowing with soft internal light. You enter the spiral. Immediately, the current wraps around you, not forcefully, but like a gentle arm guiding you upward. The fluid moves in smooth, rotating patterns, pulling you into its rhythm. You turn slowly with the spiral, your body rotating in wide, peaceful arcs that loosen every lingering tension in your muscles. Each rotation is slow, lasting many seconds, giving you time to breathe into the movement, allowing your awareness to drift like a leaf, turning softly on a quiet tide. The warmth increases slightly, just enough to soothe, just enough to melt deeper layers of thought. You rise only a short distance before the spiral widens, flattening into a broad region of mixed flow. Here, and the ocean's glow becomes richer, a deeper, fuller blue, with hints of soft violet rippling through it. You drift sideways now, gliding along currents that move horizontally in long, steady paths. These currents are wide, far wider than any river or wind on Earth. They encircle the planet like slow belts of warmth, transporting internal heat outward through the deep fluid layers. You float through one of these warm belts. The glow thickens. Particles shimmer along your path, drifting in gentle motion as they rise from the heated regions below. At this depth, the fluid feels different, heavier, more cohesive, almost like drifting in warm, soft gel. Every movement is muted and smooth. Your limbs drift with effortless buoyancy. Your breath slows further, matching the heavy stillness around you. The belt carries you toward an immense, darkened region beneath. The darkness is not empty. It is full, rich, and quiet. From within it, soft flashes appear deep, violet blue pulses that brighten, then dissolve like slow lightning deep underwater. These are ionic discharges, created when compounds under immense pressure release energy in gentle bursts. They are soft and slow compared to lightning on Earth glows rather than flashes, breaths rather than strikes. You drift toward the pulses. With each one, the fluid around you shimmers in quiet waves. Your body feels the subtle thrum, a vibration so low it seems to resonate inside your bones. The pulses intensify slightly, not brighter, but more frequent, as you drift into a region where deep currents converge. The convergence forms a basin-like structure in the fluid, a broad valley where warm and cool flows meet, mixing slowly, forming swirling patterns like undersea galaxies. You drift into the basin. The fluid grows thicker, darker, warmer. Soft swirls of color pass around you, aqua spirals, deep indigo waves, faint lavender trails drifting through the warm haze. The swirls rotate slowly around a central point, a deep, silent vortex where the planet's internal processes guide the motion of the fluid above. You drift closer to this central point. The motion becomes more uniform, more rhythmic. Each swirl feels like a calm heartbeat, expanding outward in waves that loosen your body even further. The warmth here feels comforting, a deep, embryonic kind of warmth that wraps around you like a gentle cocoon made of fluid and light. As you drift near the center, you notice faint structures rising from the deep, not solid, but patterns formed by density differences. They appear like soft, rounded pillars stretching upward toward you, their surfaces glowing faintly with inner warmth. You glide among these pillars. They stand like quiet guardians in the deep ocean, towering shapes sculpted by heat and slow planetary rotation. The air, or rather the fluid around these pillars, feels even calmer than anywhere else. You drift through the space between two of them, their warmth brushing across your awareness like a gentle hand passing along your back. Your breath deepens again. Your body relaxes further. You feel as light as a small drop drifting through quiet water. Beyond the pillars, the basin curves downward, leading into an even deeper region where the fluid becomes hotter and electricity moves more freely. You will not descend all the way, but you drift close enough to sense the power hidden beneath the planet's calm surface. The fluid grows darker still, almost black, but illuminated with soft veins of blue and violet that pulse slowly, like glowing threads woven through the deep sea. These veins drift and branch, carrying warmth and charge in slow, diffused paths. You drift along one of these glowing threads. It guides you downward several meters, then curves gently into a sheltered pocket of fluid that feels perfectly balanced, not too warm, not too cool, just right. The pocket is shaped like a hollow, a peaceful chamber carved out by stable currents and protected by gentle gradients. You enter the hollow. Immediately, every sound, every vibration, every hint of movement softens into near silence. You float there, weightless, bathed in faint, blue glow. This chamber feels like the planet's private retreat, a sanctuary of stillness hidden beneath thousands of kilometers of sky and sea. You drift in slow circles, barely moving. Your breath reaches its quietest rhythm. Your thoughts dissolve into the fluid. Your senses merge with the ocean. Everything feels calm. Everything feels soft. Everything feels safe. The deeper glow fades slowly, settling into a constant, gentle radiance. You remain suspended in this luminous stillness, floating with the planet's slow heartbeat, resting in the cradle of a giant world's sleeping soul. You continue drifting within the silent chamber at the heart of Uranus' hidden ocean. Here, the fluid glows with soft, steady radiance, not bright, not dim, but balanced, matching the slow rhythm of your breath. The glow moves through the fluid in long, quiet pulses, waves of pale aqua that rise, unfold, and dissolve gently into the surrounding darkness. Each pulse touches your body, bringing with it a deeper sense of calm, a deeper softness, a deeper release. You float, motionless. Time stretches. Thoughts loosen. The world dissolves into the quiet blue around you. This is the deepest point you will reach. Not the deepest point in the planet, but the deepest point where calm can still hold its shape, where the gentle balance of pressure, fluid, and warmth creates a sanctuary of perfect stillness. And here, the planet seems to breathe with you. Slow inhale, gentle exhale, waves of light, rising and fading, like a lullaby, sung by the ocean itself. You remain suspended in this peaceful cradle until the pulses of the deep ocean grow softer, slower, quieter. The planet is guiding you upward now, not by force, but by subtle, shifting currents that gently lift your body through the dense, glowing fluid. The hollow chamber fades behind you as you rise through smooth layers of warm ocean. The glow becomes broader, expanding outward like the light beneath a blanket of clouds before sunrise. You drift upward through an ascending column of warmth, riding the same quiet convection that carries heat from the planet's core toward its distant sky. The warmth holds you, supporting your motion, as though the planet itself is lifting you gradually back toward the world above. As you rise, the fluid grows slightly cooler. The color shifts from deep navy to sapphire to muted indigo. Particles shimmer around you, falling slowly in long, curved arcs as they release their warmth into the layers above. They drift past you like glowing snow, soft and silent. The pulses of light become more distant, become one, more diffused. They move like memories, now faint echoes of a deeper, quieter ocean far beneath. Your body floats upward effortlessly. Your thoughts drift like cool mist. Your breath becomes so slow that each inhale feels like a soft wave rising, and each exhale feels like drifting downward through layers of calm. The fluid becomes lighter as you ascend, transitioning gradually from dense, warm ocean into thick, supercritical haze. Your body begins to move more freely, your drift becoming wider, your motion more natural. The shift is gentle, as smooth as slipping from one dream into another. Above you, faint glimmers appear aqua particles, catching internal light as they swirl gracefully in slow, rising currents. You pass through them. Each one brushes your awareness like a cool fingertip made of light. As you ascend further, the haze brightens subtly. Pressure decreases in slow gradients, and the fluid becomes more transparent. The world opens. Shapes form once more in the blue haze, broad columns of rising warmth, folding veils of drifting vapor, gentle spirals created by the tilted spin of the planet. You drift into one of the spirals. It turns around you softly, its motion steady and soothing. You rotate with it, your body moving in peaceful arcs that unwind every remaining thread of waking thought. Higher still, the warm ocean beneath fades into thick, cool haze. The transition is seamless, a soft blending of temperature and density that feels like floating upward through layers of sleep. The deep indigo grows lighter, shifting slowly into dark teal. Soft waves of cool air brush past you, reminding you of the upper layers above. The pulses of warmth from below become distant whispers. The world around you returns to a cooler stillness, quiet steady, unhurried. As you rise, the haze thins. The fluid behaves more like air, and broad sheets of drifting cloud begin to appear around you. These clouds glow faintly aqua edges, illuminated by scattered internal light. Their shapes long and smooth, like brushstrokes painted across a silent sky. You drift above them, your body carried upward by gentle currents. Above these clouds, lighter layers appear, tinted in pale cyan, like sunlight filtered through deep, translucent water. You rise through them slowly. Each new layer feels softer than the one before. Each breath feels deeper. The planet's calm expands around you, soothing your sense of self until your awareness becomes as quiet as the blue world itself. Higher still, the atmosphere becomes thinner, cooler, lighter. Cloud layers drift apart into elegant sheets. Their shapes soften into smooth arcs that stretch across the sky like distant, floating continents. Above them, a pale, shimmering halo appears, the outer haze of Uranus' upper atmosphere. The color shifts from soft teal to faint aqua to pale, icy blue. Here, the light is gentle. It spreads in soft gradients, illuminating the haze like cold sunlight dissolving into frost. You drift upward, passing through the halo as it surrounds you in whisper-thin layers. The haze becomes brighter, lighter, more diffuse. Currents slow to a near standstill. Every motion grows soft, like a final exhale before falling into deep sleep. You emerge into the cool, uppermost layers. A vast, open sky of pale aqua light stretching endlessly in every direction. This is where your journey began, where the upper clouds drift like calm oceans of vapor, where storms soften into wide, gentle spirals, where the entire world feels as if it is dreaming slowly beneath you. You float in this quiet sky, held in the serene blue of Uranus' glowing breath. Below, the deeper layers hum with warmth. Above, the pale haze shines with icy calm. You rest between them, weightless, quiet, drifting, every breath soft, every thought distant, every trace of tension melted into the calm of a sleeping planet. You remain here, in the highest calm, floating peacefully in the aqua silence of Uranus, until sleep finally carries you the rest of the way into its own deep, luminous dream. As our quiet journey through the cool, drifting layers of Uranus comes to a gentle close, let your breath soften and your body remain completely at rest. You have floated through pale blue haze, descended into deep aqua oceans of warmth, drifted between rising plumes and glowing spirals, and rested in the silent heart of the planet's hidden sea. Now, you rise once more into the soft, upper calm, a sky made of icy light and whisper-thin clouds that drift with the patience of a world half asleep. If sleep has already taken you, let it hold you. Let it deepen. Let it settle like cool blue mist around your thoughts. If you are still drifting, still hovering in that quiet space between waking and dreaming, allow the last echoes of Uranus to carry you the rest of the way. Its pale glow, soothing currents, its endless, drifting sky are all here with you, cradling your breath, quieting your mind, softening your body into deep, effortless rest. The universe is vast, cold, gentle, and tonight it has held you in one of its calmest, quietest places. Thank you for drifting with us through the cool, sleeping blue of Uranus. May your dreams be calm, may your rest be deep, and may the silence of distant worlds follow you long after the journey fades. Good night.